Domain and range. The domain is all my x values I can use to make this graph. I cannot use -5 to make this graph for my x, but I can use, almost -4. That open circle says I cannot use it, but I can use everything larger than it. So I go -4 is going to be less than x, not equal because of the open circle. Go along my x until it stops, and I can't use anything past here. So that's 4. So 4, and that open circle says I cannot use 4. My range is all my possible y values. So my y values are these guys going up and down. I can't use -4, I can't use -3, I can get right up to -2, but not including -2. So -2 is my smallest y value, and I can't use it, so it's not equal to it. And then I travel up. What's the highest I can do? Everyone looks over here and says, I can almost use 2. But right here, if you plugged in -2 as an x, you would get out a 2. So it can equal 2. Even though the open circle there, it can't equal it here, but it can there. Domain is my possible x values. So my smallest x value comes all the way to here, and that's -4. It can equal it. Filled in dot means equal to -4. My largest x value goes on, arrow says goes on to infinity. So you could have x is less than infinity right here if you want, or this is the shortcut way of writing that. Smallest y value is at 0, and it can equal it. It's not an open circle. And my largest y value is all the way up here at 3, because if I plug in 4, I get out 3. I plug in 5, I get out 3. I plug in 1,000,000, and I get out 3. So that's my largest one, and it can equal it. It's not an open circle. So my domain, possible x values. So my smallest x, remember x's go this way, left and right. My smallest one is -infinity. Negative infinity is less than x, or you can just write x. X is less than 4, because that's my largest y value, or x value, excuse me. My smallest y values are up and down. The smallest one is down here at -3. Cannot equal it because of the open circle. And my largest y value is up here at 3. And it can equal it because it's not an open circle. I have domain -4, smallest x value, all the way to infinity, since this keeps going, all the way to infinity. So I could have wrote it just -4 is less than or equal to x, and leave this part off. So you get to see it two different ways. There's one way of doing it and one way of doing it here. Both are acceptable. My smallest y value, people tend to look right here, but that arrow continues on to -infinity. So from -infinity, should not have an equal there. It should just be -infinity is less than y. So that's wrong right there. And then y is less than or equal to 3, because my largest y value is 3. I'll change that on the key.